Good afternoon, class. Listen, just wanted to touch base on a couple things. Number one, I want to provide you some hints. I know I've covered some of these in the previous video, but I want to make sure that I go over them again because I do want you guys to get the best possible grade that you can on the discussion boards. So here's a clue in how that can happen. First thing, make sure you read the directions to the discussion board very well so that you understand exactly what we're looking for. Then you need to answer each part of the question. Typically, the numbered questions will have several different parts of the question kind of there. You have to answer each one of those parts. In other words, like for a numbered question, there might be 5 or 6 different questions for number one. You have to answer each part of them. So make sure you answer them. Also, make sure you answer, especially the questions that deal with content in the textbook reading. Make sure you answer those particular aspects of the question in detail. Give me all the facts. Give me all the data you can unearth that will help answer that question thoroughly. Also, make sure you do the word counts. I know that that seems kind of silly to some extent, but really it's impossible to answer those questions well and thoroughly with less than what the word counts are asking for. So make sure you give me 5 to 600 on the discussion board, and then also 150 with each of the replies. Also, in speaking about the threads, your original post as well as the replies, please make sure with the original post 5 citations, scholarly citations. ListenDictionary.com, Webster Dictionary do not count. The Bible does not count as a scholarly citation. So make sure you read the document in the syllabus in the course content area about scholarly versus popular sources. That will really help. So make sure 5 citations, and of course the textbook counts as one of those, and then as a scholarly citation. And then you need 2 scholarly citations for each of the replies. Okay, well, and then also the other thing that is really important, just proofread. Just proofread for spelling, for grammar, for punctuation, for proper capitalization. Those types of things can really, and just go and it'll clean it up. That way you can make sure you get the best possible grade you can. Okay, this week, obviously, you only have, for the discussion board, you have 3 questions to choose from, and you have to do 2 of the 3. So make sure you do 2 of those 3. And quite frankly, the first one is dealing with the various quests for the historical Jesus. This is a fairly complex question, and so make sure that you give detailed description of the 3 quests, but also give me the representative scholars, as well as the dates and the periods for each of them, and of course a brief description of each one of them. Now, most of the time, the students don't do a good job of describing them. So make sure you do a thorough job and then answer the other parts of that question as well. The second one talks about listing the various criteria of authenticity. This is a very straightforward question. If you do the readings in the textbook, it's right there laid out for you pretty simply. And so just describe each one of those very well, and you'll do a great job in the other parts and then answer the other parts of the question. That one's really straightforward. Now, the next one has to do with the dates for Jesus' birth and his death, and also obviously his crucifixion. And the reason why students often don't get a good grade on this particular question is only because they don't give me all the important pieces of data that help us to establish those dates. So there are some secular sources that help us date Jesus' birth, also his crucifixion, which obviously is related to his death. So make sure you give me all those important pieces of outside evidence, outside the Bible, and even inside the Bible, that help us to understand those specific dates. And then also don't neglect to give me a short chronology of his life, but then also the important aspects of the second part of the question. The primary purpose of Matthew's genealogy. You just have to read and look a little bit, and you'll be able to find that. But if you do those things, you guys will do outstanding on the discussion boards. Also, want to remind you, got a quiz this Sunday, and so make sure you study hard, read through everything that you had to read up to this particular point, I would also answer all of the discussion board questions, even the ones that you didn't necessarily do. If you answer all of them, you'll be really prepared for the quiz. But go through the readings, highlight the important things, be familiar with the content, so that when you take that first quiz, although it is open book, you might not know an answer, but you'll be familiar enough with the textbook reading that you'll be able to find it quickly. Uh, Typically, students do pretty well, but on this first quiz, so just study really hard, and I think you guys will do great. So the first discussion board is graded, and I think that some of you, and I took it, I was pretty generous with the grading this week because I know we're all getting adjusted. But over the next few weeks, after we kind of get more accustomed to, I expect the footnote forms to be proper. I expect the citations to be well done. I expect it to be clean without grammatical errors because you're proofreading, and that you're doing a detailed, really thorough job with the discussion board questions. And certainly, it is very common to see grade improvement. And that's what we're wanting to see. So excited that this first week is in the books, so to speak. Again, if you guys need anything, shoot me an email. Be more than happy to help you out. Also, do start preparing for your paper. It's going to be here before you know it, okay? Hey, you guys have a great rest of your week. God bless you guys.